Okay, so when I take a look at this, let's take a look at how we resize things. So I still want to work with this as my header, and I want to leave my dash the way that it is, but I want it to not run the span. So I need to change the size of it. So when we are resizing images, this is what we want to do. First thing is we want to select it. So I'm going to grab onto my move tool and I'm going to click onto it. Now, what we can see too is that that layer is selected. So it's really important that that layer is selected. Okay. All right, now the next thing we want to do is we want to change the size. So I'm going to come up to Edit and I'm going to hit Free Transform. Now, we also have Transform and there's all this information in here. I'm going to click on Free Transform because I want to be able to resize it myself. Now, let's say I like the relationship between the width and the height. So I'm going to come and I can hover, so I can even, as I hover, I can turn it if I wanted to, right? So I could turn it like so. Don't want to do that. I'm going to bring it back. But I can resize it. Now, I'm going to grab a corner and I'm going to hold down Shift. Now, what happens when you hold down Shift is the relationship between the width and the height stays intact, right? Okay. All right, so there we have it. Now, let's say that I wanted to come on in. Now, in order to move to the next place, I need to actually hit my arrow again. I need to apply the transformation. All right, so now I'm going to click onto my paper. I'm going to say, hey, I want to make my paper a little bit bigger. Now, take a look. If I do not hold down Shift, I'm not holding Shift now, I can totally resize it, but it doesn't necessarily, like I can come over here and the relationship between the width and the height doesn't really matter. Now, that doesn't matter so much for when we're working with the paper. But let me show you an example of if I was to do that on this word crochet, okay? And I was to just come and pull onto this corner, right? I could really distort it and make it look weird. And I don't want to do that. That's especially really bad when we work with photographs because it creates a warped image. So there we have it. Again, we come to Edit and we come to Free Transform. Now let's just take a look at Transform too. So you can come in, you can get really exact when you work this way. You can come in and you can really specify and work with the scale. We can come Edit, Transform. I could come in, I could say Rotate. And again, what happens is we can come on in up in here and look at the actual angle that we want to rotate it, so we get information up in our panel above, and we can be very, very specific with what we want to happen. Thanks so much.